Okay. It looks like we in the house. We in the house. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling good this morning. My name's Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach, and I'm somebody who's here to help you go further, faster, with less effort. I just want to say good morning, millionaire. Please do me a favor and give me a replay. I'm trying to see like who's checking it out later in the day. You know, please like, comment, and share. It's very important to this movement that, you know, you take everything you're learning and go share it with everybody you know. Because if we can keep the entrepreneurs alive longer, then we can keep the world growing faster. Because it's the entrepreneurs that get this thing cracking. You know what I mean? Entrepreneurs are the cream of planet Earth, y'all. It's the entrepreneurs who come out here and work on solving the problems that each generation is facing. It's the entrepreneurs that push mankind forward. That's what I'm trying to say. And so what we're here to do is blow that thing up. Hey, my big sis in the house. We're gonna talk soon. We're gonna talk this morning. Good morning. Good morning, millionaires. Hey, let's go, y'all. Everybody feeling good this morning? Kiwi in the house. Kaiser. Good morning. Good morning. Let them know where you from, y'all. Make sure you repping your city. You know what I mean? Good morning, millionaires. Checking in from YouTube. Man, I really appreciate the YouTube thing. We really about to get this YouTube thing going. I'm really excited about that. I feel like we've been really ignoring that side of things, and we're going to step it up. You know what? Speaking of stepping it up, let me get it going on Clubhouse as well. There we go. Hold on, y'all. All right, we getting this thing going. Good morning, millionaires. Hey, Shamiz. Did you try that downloading the app thing, Shamiz? Did you try that? That should work. Some people have been having issues, y'all, because this new number that we got cracking, it doesn't allow you to, sometimes it tries to charge you to call in, we found out. And of course, we ain't having that. So if you've been going through that, what you want to do is download the app. Nah, that's what I'm talking about, Shamiz. I'm talking to you right now. I'm saying that what we need to do is download the app. We need to download that.
Special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time.
Download the app, Queen.
We're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold it.
Please enter your...
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Please announce yourself.
From Atlanta, Georgia.
Entry and exit tones are off. All participants are muted.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm proud to be an entrepreneur, and I hope you feel the same way. I want to welcome you to a morning show. We do this every single morning, 7:30 a.m., Monday through Friday. And we not only do our visualization exercises and our affirmation exercises, but we always train. We always give ourselves a little bit of either mindset, skill set, or heart set training that helps us go further, faster, with less effort. This morning, what we're talking about is presentation. You know, many of you know that I have invented a sort of technology I call a revenue acceleration cycle. And I've used this my whole life. I didn't know when I was using it at some points, but as I began to go through trial and measure, I began to pull out pieces that no matter whether it was a mom and pop or a Fortune 500 company, which I've dealt with both, no matter if it was a brick and mortar or a click and order, which I've dealt with both, the same 7 principles apply. We call it leads, meaningful conversation, appointments, presentation, conversion, follow-ups, upsell, Again, that's leads, meaningful conversation, appointment, presentation, conversion, follow-up, and upsell. Those are the 7 pieces of the revenue acceleration cycle. And this morning, what we're here to talk about is presentation. See, the revenue acceleration cycle is set up in such a way where if you separate your business, any kind of business, into any of those 7 categories, and you just work on just blowing up that one category, everything's going to be different. That's how powerful the technology is. You can just focus on one piece of it. Today, we're going to focus on presentation. Is that all right? If you're ready for presentation, let me get it in the comments, presentation, and give me a share. Because what I want to ask you this morning is how much of your presentation, the last time you talked about your business or what it is you do, how much of that was standard? I don't care if you sell a product. I don't care if you sell a service. I don't care if it's simple or sophisticated. My question for you is how much of the presentation you did last time is just like the presentation you did last time? Is it completely void of personalization? Is it completely void of customization? Are you trying to play it one size fits all? Was it completely void of interaction? Was it all about you? Because that is a big gaping hole in your revenue, baby. That's a big gaping hole in the amount of income you're bringing in. What I'm asking you to think about this morning, y'all, is what kind of presentation do you think your people want? Your person, your avatar, your prospect, your lead, the connection you're trying to make. What kind of information do they want to hear? They want to know what the value is to them. You got to share this with an entrepreneur. You got to share this with an accountability partner that you're going to have hold you to a higher standard. Because you know and I know that they want to know how this fits into their business or their life. They want to know how they win. They want to know how this is going to help them produce. They want to know how it affects them in their life. They want to know how they profit. They want to know how easy it is for them to put it to use in their environment. Is that a fact, y'all? Or am I going too fast? Because my point is, none of this stuff exists in your regular presentation. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Why are you giving them a presentation that's all about you and how great you are when all they care about is themselves? What are we expecting them to do all of the work? That makes no sense, millionaires. Here's the reality. You walk in there empty-handed, you're going to walk out. You walk in there empty-headed, and you're going to walk out empty-handed. You hear me? I got an idea for you before I get into the ways that I got for you, right? I got an idea, right? What if you took all of the normal, boring stuff that you're normally going to say, right, that you're normally going to talk about, and you send it to them in advance before you even show up? Like, here's all the normal stuff. That way, when I get there, we can focus. Like, here's all the crap you can Google, right? Here's all the stuff that you can find just by doing a cursory piece of you know what I mean? Here's the simple stuff. But so when I show up, I don't bore you. I wanted to get all of this out the way now. I just wanted to send it to you now. That way, when I show up, I'm going to be prepared to give you ideas that are going to lead you to, and then you talk about how they went, right? That's going to lead you to how they win with you. That's what you insert there. I don't know what kind of business you have. Hopefully you put it in the comments so we can all see. But the point that I'm making is, when you come at them like, look, here's the normal stuff you can Google, because when I show up, I want to be ready to talk about you, right? It gets it out the way. So that's a quick idea for you, right? Now you're a professional. Now you're an entrepreneur. Now you're millionaire minded. Now you're forced to go in there with ideas and information about them that they can use for their own productivity. Does this make sense to somebody? If this makes sense, then somebody say WIIFM. WIIFM. Everybody's thinking, what's in it for me? And if you're talking to them all about yourself and you're forgetting it to connect it to them, man, I kind of went through it last night. You know what I mean? Buddy of mine, he a business partner of mine puts me on the phone with this cat, and we're talking and whatnot. And he's like, man, how can this help? And then he said the name of his organization. Man, the first thing that I asked when I got on the phone before the prospect even got on the phone. I was like, hey, so tell me a little bit about their organization. Tell me a little bit about how they're right. Because I'm trying to, now I'm not blaming anybody because I should have taken more of the lead. I should have known. I should have gone in there with a game plan for them because I knew this represented a whole organization. But that's why I'm talking about it this morning, y'all, because in real time, I didn't follow one of my own principles and things didn't go as well as they could. My girl was like, hey, man, you he wanted to hear, you're really good at the macro. He wanted to hear more of the micro. I couldn't do nothing but say, you're right. You know what I mean? Because if I go in there with a one size fits all kind of thing, or I try to depend on my natural talent to just, call an audible, then I'm not being a professional, y'all. I'm being a fly by night kind of like monkey man. And that ain't what we're here to do. We're here to get rich. And for us to make a lot of money, we got to help a lot of people. But for us to help anybody, we got to know what they need. We have to have done some kind of research about them. We have to understand intimately how they'll be able to use this product or this service for their own enjoyment, their own profit, their own productivity. Does that make sense? Millionaires, I'm about to give you these ways, but I'm just trying to set it up for you so that you're clear about how incredible your life can be when you stop thinking in terms of yourself and instead you start thinking in terms of them. Everything changes, y'all. Millionaires, if your presentation does not have customization, you're leaving money on the floor. When they're just watching it, they're going to be thinking to themselves, this lady don't get me. If you understand what I'm saying, type that in the comments. This lady don't get me. This man don't get me. This guy doesn't understand me or my business. If you understand that I'm telling you the thought of your customer, type that in the comments so that it's really seared into your memory. That's what they're thinking while you're talking to them. If all you're doing is talking about you and your company. That can't be what your presentation is about. That's the whole purpose of you setting the appointment. That's why the step in the revenue acceleration cycle right before presentation is the appointment part. Does that make sense, everybody? They don't get me. They don't get me. That's what they're sitting there thinking if you're just giving them a normal presentation. They're thinking this lady don't get me. This dude don't get me. You hear me? This guy doesn't understand my business. This lady doesn't understand why I'm even here. Millionaires, you can tell if you're doing it wrong if your presentation is full of statements, unfavorable statements about the competition. You hating on them. You talking about yourself. Maybe you're doing statements that boast instead of prove. You're doing it wrong, right? Maybe you're comparing yourself to the competition. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with sprinkling a little something in there so that they understand your unique selling proposition. But if you're focusing on yourself, you're doing it wrong. If you're asking them questions like, so what do you already know about us? You're doing it wrong. Millionaires, if you're asking them going straight to questions about the budget, if you're going straight to questions about who decides who pays for all of this, you're doing it completely wrong. If you're getting non-specific testimonials that praise you, but don't really say why, you're doing it completely wrong, millionaires. Your presentation is off. If you're making excuses about why you don't have YouTube activity, why you don't have Twitter activity, because trust me, they searched for it before you showed up. They looked for you. You get what I mean? You're making excuses. You have no recommendations from other customers, right? That means you're doing it wrong. Let me tell you how you're doing it right. Here's how you know you're focused on them. Your questions are questions about them that reveal their history, their situation, questions that reveal their motives, their past experience, millionaires, their wisdom. Your questions create true engagement. That means you're doing it right. You have testimonies that overcome specific objections about the price of the thing, about the quality of the thing. That means you're doing it right. You've got third-party media that supports you, that supports your product or service. You've got testimonies and articles and interviews. That means you're doing it right. You've got an incredible social media presence, not in terms of following, but in terms of value, in terms of making it clear that you're there to put them at ease. Shouts out to everybody who's putting headlines on top of their videos before they post them on Instagram so they can throw another page $50 to post it for a few hours and get some followers. Shouts out to people who are being creative with TikTok. Shouts out to people who are leveraging LinkedIn. Shouts out to people who understand that when it's all about the customer and not themselves, you begin to create a kind of magnetic presence where you don't even need to advertise anymore, right? Because you came in there already having done the work. The key thing that I want you to understand, because I'm going to give you the 3 things that we're here for. I'm going to give you the things that we're here for, right? But the key thing that I want you to understand this morning is that features are about you. Benefits are somewhere in the middle. They can go either way. But value, millionaire, is about them. Value, if you define it at its most simple, you know what I mean? It's how much more you give than you're asking for in return. Value is all about them. You got to serve before you deserve. And customer perceived value is what we're talking about right now. Customer perceived value needs to be what your presentation is about. And don't be defensive with me. I can hear some of y'all saying you give a customized presentation already. I can hear you telling me you're different from everybody else. You're different from everybody else on the planet. I can hear you telling me your customers love your presentation. You close 3 out of 4 people. Listen, I got people that's listening to my voice right now that will tell you I closed 3 out of 4 people. And I'm still telling you that that's crap. You can do better. So I got 3 of them for you. If you're ready for the first idea on how to do better, give me a number 1 and a share. If you're rocking with me on Clubhouse, I want to hear your best ideas in a minute. We're gonna go there in a minute. But right now, give me a 1 and a share if you're ready for this first idea about how to kind of measure your customization and really test how ill you really are with how you're presenting your product or your service. It's time for us to think bigger, y'all. It's time for us to get millionaire minded. It's time for us to put our money where our mouth is. Y'all see that logo? You know what I mean? Here's the first way, y'all. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, y'all. Here's the first one. How much time did you spend on pre-call research, right? How well do you know this person? How well do you know the company you're visiting right now? That's number 1. I dare you look at it from the point of view like, did I put in 15 minutes? How much money am I about to make off this deal? Oh, okay, $30,000. Is that worth more than 15 minutes? Is that worth 30 minutes making $30,000? How much am I going to make over the life of this deal? Let me think that out. Because first of all, if that number don't turn me on, there's my problem right there. There's my problem right there. But darn, man, if I'm going to make real money, shouldn't I put some real time into this? If you're ready for number 2, give me a number 2 in the share. Give me number 2 in the share. I got a second way that anybody can make any presentation better. I'm going to give it to you right now if you're ready for it. But first, I want you to think about number 1. Once you're ready for number 2, give me a number 2 in a share so I know you're ready. But right now, you're focused on number 1, which is how much time are you putting into, you say, Haziq, well, this ain't a person right here. This right here is just this ain't a company right here. This is a person. Have you gone to their Facebook page? Have you seen their sense of humor? Have you seen how many kids they have? Have you seen, now you don't want to take it to stalker level being creepy, but darn, they're putting certain things out there and no one's liking their stuff anyway. They're begging people to look at them and no one's paying attention. At least you could look at their page. At least you could go through it and kind of observe who they saying they are to the world. You're going to pick up some likes. You're going to pick up some needs. You're going to pick up some desires. You're going to pick up some values. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? How much time did you put in there? If you're ready for number 2, give me a number 2. Give it to me straight, man. How much time are you putting into it? Because presentation is one of the 7 elements of this revenue acceleration cycle, right? Presentation is one of the 7 elements. This weekend, we're about to have a ball. We got another Kaizen Academy this weekend, and it's all about monetizing your brand, right? You're never going to be broke when you understand this concept of value expansion. That's really what we're talking about this morning. We're talking about value expansion. This one part of this weekend's class where we just go over 21 ways to never, ever, ever be broke again is worth the whole class. It's worth the whole tuition for the academy. But even if you just want to take the one little class, we're doing it for like $25. you can reach out, or if you're already in the academy, you know what it is. But we're going to go over 11 wealth magnets they didn't teach you in school. We're going to talk about 7 ways to pull thousands of dollars out of thin air, 7 absolute requirements of 7 figures. You know, you're going to love this. 12 speed hacks for increasing your value. It's going to be cold. We're going to be talking about the art of leverage. That's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about you have a competitive advantage, for instance, when you leverage your time and actually think about your customer on a deeper level. Would it be okay if you separated yourself from everybody else in your industry by being a little more surgical? Here's number 2, y'all. Are you going to start walking in with 2 or 3 incredible ideas that are going to benefit that person, whether they buy something from you or not? Is that incredible? Is that incredible? 2 to 3 ideas from now on. You're going to show up to every interaction, every engagement with 2 to 3 ideas. And with your infinite black mind, I'm trying to tell you, you can come up with 2 to 3 ideas. You can come up with 2 to 3 ideas, baby. Creativity is next to godliness. You can come up with 2 to 3 ideas. You just haven't made that a priority. Is that a fact? If you believe you can do that, let me see 2 to 3 great ideas and then give me a share. 2 to 3 great ideas. You know you can do it. You just ain't thought of doing it. You know what I mean? You had a couple minutes. You just was watching Netflix because you ain't had nothing to do, baby. But now you got something to do. And this is how you get rich. The main problem is most people don't think, y'all. They think they're thinking, and really they're just playing recordings. That's why we do the affirmations, so we can at least use the recordings to benefit us. Damn. But I'm saying we're going to get off autopilot. We're going to go in this thing with 2 to 3 great ideas. If you can feel that, give me 2 to 3 great ideas and a share. If that resonates with you. On Clubhouse, if that feels good, ping somebody into the room. We're trying to extend the life expectancy of the entrepreneur. If I can do this from sleeping in my car, y'all, this must be the greatest country on earth. This must be the greatest country on earth. 2 to 3 great ideas. 2 to 3 great ideas. Come on, man. 2 to 3 great ideas. You can do this. You can walk in every meeting with 2 to 3 great ideas that they can use whether they buy from you or not. 2 to 3 great ideas that they can use whether they buy from you or not. Can you imagine how that separates you from everybody else? Can you imagine? All right, here's the third one I got for you. I want you to begin measuring your presentation, okay, by the variations that you made to adapt to their business or to adapt to their needs, to adapt to their desires, their problems. I want you to begin measuring. The third way anyone can make any presentation better is I want you to measure better by how many adaptations you made to their company, their present situation, right? Their business environment right now, their needs, their productivity. Aren't you glad this is on YouTube so you can go back and write all of these things down? But I'm challenging you to create to look at your presentation and see how many ways you can adapt it, how many ways you can change it in little ways, how many ways you can nuance that thing out so that it's relevant to their productivity, so it's relevant to the level of success they desire. How much of your presentation are you going to spend dream building for their needs and values and desired lifestyle? Because, if you're dream building for me, that's why one-on-one presentations give you it's different, right? You can find some pros to group presentations. You can find some cons to one-on-one presentations. But I'm gonna tell you one of the pros to one-on-one presentations, and it's the idea that you can customize. It is tragic if you have the ability, millionaire, to sit there and be different from everybody else and you telling them the same thing you would have told anybody. How arrogant of us. How arrogant of us, y'all. All right. I got a bonus one for you. If you're ready for the bonus, then let me see bonus in the comments. Let me see bonus of the comments. I got another way that I want you to think about your presentation. It's going to help you make it better from now on. This is going to help you gauge whether your presentation was as dope as you thought it was. You know, this is going to help you gauge whether you are really going in there millionaire minded, or if you're going in there like mediocre, like just doing the very least, you know, just trying to get away with a C. This ain't school no more. You don't get no cool points for doing the least possible. I'm gonna tell you the only time that where you are doing the least possible, when you're producing, damn it, when we're talking about minimum viable product, where you're just gonna get out something so you can begin to improve it. Okay, we're gonna accept you but what we're gonna stop doing is showing up to the customer mediocre. We're gonna stop giving them minimum level of effort. And then here we want a maximum level bank account. Here's the last one I got for you, y'all, and then we out of here. We about to go do our affirmations. You know, if you haven't joined the Kaizen Academy yet, I want to toss it out there to you. I think it would be a smart move. You can call in on the line and do your affirmations with us. The bonus I got for you, y'all, is I want you to think about it like this. Your knowledge, millionaires, of the customer's buying motives, your knowledge of the customer's what drives them, what they're into, why they even agreed to take this meeting, right, needs to be as good or greater than your selling skills. How about that? However good you think you are, because you know, however good you think you are, that's the less you think you need to prepare, because you think you really, you think you the greatest. And because you think you the greatest, you don't prepare in a way that would actually make you the greatest. So now you're confident with no competence. That doesn't make sense. So what I want you to do is switch it around in your mind. The millionaire-minded way to approach this then is to ask myself, do I have as good as I think I am, do I have an even greater knowledge of their motives, their situation, and their needs? Millionaires, these are the most difficult ways to approach this stuff, and it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Most entrepreneurs have no concept about any of this stuff that I'm teaching you, and therefore here you are. You're being an artist when you got to start approaching it like a scientist, right? Most entrepreneurs around you are not going to be willing to do the work to prepare, but the will to win is just what it looks like, y'all. The will to prepare is what it feels like. When it's coming from in you, you can tell you're going to win because of this preparation thing that's inside you. Millionaires, the fact that most of these people are willing to be mediocre is great news for me and you, because they're just leaving us all the food, man. They're leaving all the food on the table. You can always identify that 5% that's millionaire minded, because they're always the highest performers. They're always the highest earners. And they're always the one everybody else finds himself trying to be like. Millionaires, repeat after me. I am so